Hello again. We're still on volume, but today I want us to look at the meanings of some words, some terms under volume. Now, the first two are capacity and volume. What is the difference between capacity and volume? We'll start with capacity. What is capacity? We've talked about this before. Now, I want to talk about different aspects of the word capacity. The first thing that comes to mind when we hear capacity is the amount of space. The amount of space a container has. The amount of things you can put in a container. We can talk about buckets. We can talk about a box. We can talk about handbags. We can talk about different things. The amount of space that container has. For example, we have a container right here. How much water or how much sand or even toys, how many blocks, Lego can we put in this container? You know, we can put in so much, but not too much, because very soon it will start overflowing. So we should just make sure that we put in enough. We can also talk about mommy's handbag or our school bag. How many things can it hold? All right, I want us to look at another meaning of capacity. It can also mean how much a machine can do. This is a pencil sharpener, and then we can find out how many pencils can it sharpen. That is also the capacity. Can it sharpen 1,000 pencils, 1,000,000 pencils, 100 pencils? That is also another meaning for capacity. However, for the purposes of this topic, we will just look at capacity from one angle. It is the amount of liquid a container can hold. Okay, so for today, we'll just stick to capacity is the amount of liquid a container can hold. What do I mean by that? I'll show you in a minute. Most containers have their capacity written on them. Most containers have their capacity written on them. For example, you have this container here and it has 5 liters written on it. We have this green bottle. It also has its capacity written somewhere. Okay, there it is, 1 liter. Okay, 1 liter somewhere there. And then we have this container too. It is also somewhere here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, can you see it? Let's wait for it. Let's wait for it. Okay. All right. So you can see 500 ml. We'll talk about all that. And then we have this. It has 2L. We have this one too, which also says 500 ml. All right. And then we have these other containers here. Now, this here also says, I don't know if you can see it. Yes, 500 ml. All right. Before I make my next point, I just want to attend to something we saw there. We saw that letters was spelled this way and it was also spelled this way. They are both correct. The Americans spell it this way, British spell it this way. Basic meaning. So it means the same thing. Okay. All right. We also saw L, and then we also saw ML. Okay. I'll leave you to figure this one out. I know we've talked about it before. Let's see who remembers. All right. Now let's move on to our next point. Now that we know what capacity is, okay, let's now move on to volume, the meaning of volume. Volume simply means the amount of liquid liquid in a container. Okay, the amount of liquid in a container. Let's pick this one. This is just a sachet. The capacity is 500 ml, and the amount of liquid there is also 500 ml. Why am I saying that? Because it is full. We haven't poured anything out. However, if we pick this one, the capacity is 5 liters. But the oil in there, geez, someone has been cooking. It's empty all the way. And then it starts from somewhere there. Okay, we've been cooking with it. We've been frying pancakes, eggs, chips, nuggets, omelette, all sorts of things with it. Okay, so the capacity remains 5 liters, but the volume of liquid in there, which in this case is oil, is obviously not up to 5 liters. Okay, let's move on to our next container. The capacity is 1 liter. How much liquid do we have in there? See, that's the point I'm making. This is 500. Okay, we have something in there. All right, it is very thick and brown and sweet. Can you guess what it is? I'm sure you got it. Yes, it's honey. We've been using it. Sometimes we pour it in bread, and personally I prefer honey to sugar, so we have been using it. So even though the container has a capacity of 500 ml, the amount of whatever we have in there is not up to 500. That is the point I want to make. Okay, so the difference between capacity and volume is that capacity is the amount of liquid a container can hold. Okay, can hold. But volume is the amount of liquid in a container. And volume is the amount of liquid in a container. Okay, capacity is the amount of liquid a container can hold. Volume is the amount of liquid in a container. Are we clear? Very good. Now let's move on to something else. We'll come back to it then. Now the measurement. Why do we have some ml and then some L? ml and then L. The L stands for liters and the ml stands for milliliters. Okay, so we are going to look at the capacity of some containers. Okay, and then if it is L, we'll put it on one side, and then if it is ml, we'll put it on another side. Okay, and then let's see if we can figure out something. All right, so this 5 liters, which is also 5L, let's leave it here. This one, 1L, let's bring it here. Do you remember? 500 ml. Well done. We'll bring it, send it to the other side, and then this one, 500 ml. Let's bring it here. 2L. Let's bring it here. Now this one, okay, yeah, down there somewhere, 2.83L. That's about 3L, but we've seen L, so let's send that one to this side. 500 ml this way, 500 ml this way. Okay, we have some 2 guys here. Somewhere. Yeah, 237 ml this way. Now, this one was a problem. I searched and searched and searched. I couldn't find it. So we decided to look on the pack, and there it was. So sometimes if you can't find the volume or the capacity on the object, look for the pack. we found it somewhere. Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, all right, 177 ml each. All right, so it's ml. Let's send this back and then send this to the side. I have some interesting items hiding. I just went around picking things from my house. All right, so the first one, can you guess what it is? Yeah, it's this one. Where is it? It is somewhere. Aha. Can you see it? 50 ml. Does it go here? No, the other side. Well done. I have another interesting object. You will never guess what it is. Okay, yeah, I use this one. It's a nail polish. It's also, all right, it's transparent. It's difficult to see, but 18 ml. 18 ml. I don't know if you can see it. It's 18 ml. So now when you pick a pack of juice or anything liquid, any container that has liquid in it, okay, so there it is, 18 ml. Try and look for the capacity of it. Okay, we have another one. Let's see, will you be able to guess what it is? Okay, yeah, this should be easier to see. Yeah, there it is. It's colored. Okay, 18 ml. So it goes this way. Now, that is a nail polish. So it means I definitely need a nail polish remover. Okay, let's see. This is also 236 ml. There you go. Go to your ml group. Now we have another item here. I am sure some of you already know where this one is going, even before we look at it, because I'm sure you figured something out. I am sure you have 10 ml. Fantastic, you're right. So now let's look at these group of items. Let's compare them with this. Okay, with this group. Can you see what is going on? I have one last thing to show. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Our last object. Where is it going? Liters, milliliters. I don't know. Let's see. Let's find out. All right. What does it say? Oh, you were so right. It says 28 ml. Oh my goodness. Give yourself a mighty oh yeah. Yes, so as you have already figured out, we use liters to measure big things. Okay? When the capacity is big, we just say liters. And then when it is smaller, we say milliliters. Now, I'll leave you with one fun fact. Okay? And the fun fact I'm going to leave you with is the relationship between the milliliters and the liters. All right. Do you remember the capacity of this container? It was 1 liter, okay? And do you remember this one? 500 ml. All right. So I'm going to pour this water in there, and then it will help us understand the relationship between milliliters and liters. Now let me try and cut it so that I don't squeeze. All right. Let's see what happens. Okay. There you go. All right. Let's find out. Almost there. Let's see what happens. All right. Empty now. Do you think another one can fit? Let's find out. How many of you think it can fit? How many think that it will not? It cannot fit. Am I going to have some left or not? All right. Okay. Drum roll. Drum roll. Drum roll. All right. Okay, so the relationship between the liters and the milliliters is that we can have, if you have 500 liters and another 500 liters, that will give you 1 liter. Now, what is 500 plus 500? Who knows? That is, yes, you're right, 1,000. So that means 1,000 milliliters give us 1 liter. Now, do you remember how many centimeters will give us a meter? Do you remember that one? You're right, 100. And also, how many meters make 1 kilometer? Can you guess? Do you remember? Great, 1,000. All right, in the same way, we have 1,000 milliliters giving us 1 liter. Okay, which means if you have 2,000 milliliters, you have 2 liters. If you have 3,000 milliliters, you have 3 liters. Okay, and then it also means if you have 5 liters, then you have 5,000 milliliters. Fantastic. All right, so we've talked about capacity, which is the amount of liquid a container can hold. Volume is the amount of liquid in a container. We use liters for containers with bigger capacities, and then we use milliliters for containers with smaller capacity. Well done.